here I am on 23rd Street Grand Lodge building. I'm about to go up to the Livingston Library and speak with my lodge brother Alex from Yorktown Diamond Thistle and learn a little bit more about Huguenot Lodge. Hey Alex.
Hello.
It's good to see you again.
Welcome to the Livingston Masonic Library.
I think you got a lot of good stuff for us to look at, so
yeah, definitely.
Let's get to it.
And get to it. So this is the oldest minute book in existence for Westchester Lodge number 46 from 1796. It's been cataloged as part of the museum collection. It contains 3 different editions of the approved bylaws of the lodge in the first section. The first one being 1796. Yeah, so the last one was, I think, approved in 1821 when they were still in operation before they shut down because of the anti-Masonic party. But this gets us to the first page ever, once they had finally started to meet in June 2nd, 1796. Notice they used the Masonic dating.
Yes. Yep.
D796.
So this is meeting minutes from their first lodge meeting?
Yeah, they opened on the first step of Masonry,
which would be the first
to initiate their first initiate, David Eustace, who had been proposed for a length of time prior to this meeting. So they had the worshipful master Gideon Cogswell, and several officers had already been installed,
including Delancey, who was the nephew of the lieutenant governor, correct?
Yeah, eventually they would open on the second step of Masonry to get Eustace to fellowcraft. The first visitors were Hedrick Hunt and Peter Sherman of Royal Arch Lodge number 2, New York City.
That's wild.
Which happened on June 18th, 1796. And also they noted that when they did fellowcraft, they would open it as a fellowcrafts lodge. The other term that they used was the third step of Masonry, opening like that. There was also a Robert Bayard was also raised what they called sublime degree of Master Mason. You do an ancient form.
They had the meeting at David Eustace's house.
Yeah, I was right. David Eustace was the first guy, and then when they had enough fellowcrafts, they opened a fellowcrafts lodge, and then they got Brother Robert Bayard to fellowcraft. And then they also opened it the third degree on the same night and got him his third degree. Okay. He had already been initiated previously. So actually...
So did they raise all those guys to third degree?
No. So I was correct. So the first raised Master Mason in this lodge was David Eustace. Okay. And he was... And every time that they passed him, they always put him on ballot and he was approved.
So every degree they had a ballot?
It seems to me.
Wow.
In addition to, well, they would vote to give them the next level. This minute book confirms that your first initiate was
Eustace.
Yeah, David Eustace was the guy who was the very, I mean, technically speaking, the first lodge return, the guys that signed the petition were the first Master Masons in the lodge. But David Eustace was the first one to actually get the degrees fully in the lodge.
See, this is the original lodge return, so everyone on this list was a Master Mason when they joined, so they were just affiliating to Westchester Lodge 46.
Yeah, see.
Is there any way we can look up the record of any of these, like when they became Masons, or is that... The documentation was a little sketchy back then, right?
No, maybe. We don't charge the fee for Master Masons like you. I would need to know who the very first guys are, so that way I could look in the original registry returns and figure out See, that's the problem. These early returns only record payments, initiation dates. They don't record where the guys originally came from.
Oh, okay.
The only way you can figure that out is, one thing you do know for sure, to form the lodge, it would all had to have been Master Masons somewhere before this occurred. And my guess is they were probably all made Master Masons either in New York City or some other state. The book on the history of Huguenot Lodge 46 was in the library of Honorary Grand Master Ehlers, which the library has a marble bust of, sculpted by Gutzenborg Gloom, also Mason, who was the sculptor of Mount Rushmore.
Oh, wow.
This is his book plate of his library. Ehlers was important because he was one of only four, I believe, Grand Secretaries elected to the position of Honorary Grand Master.
So that's actually a history book of Huguenot Lodge?
Yes. Dated 1907.
Wow, okay.
Oh, interesting. This guy actually interviewed a few members who were from the old
Westchester Lodge 46, okay.
Isn't that crazy? Nearly 112 years have passed since the first Masonic Lodge organized southern part of Westchester County. According to the records, Grand Lodge, State of New York, the year 1796, there was only one lodge in Westchester County. This is located at Peekskill on the Hudson. It's known as Peekskill Lodge number 34. The next nearest lodges, there were 8, met in New York City. What's incredible is you guys actually have all the rolls for this stuff all the way up to the closure, I think.
Yeah, so we really have no gap in documentation from the founding of our lodge to when it went dark.
In terms of, I mean, your minute books are kind of incomplete, but
right. But we have the returns of the numbers.
Yeah, the important thing is all these worksheets were preserved. Your member list is comprehensive. That is what I wanted to determine. 1829, actually. So you guys have it all the way up through. It looks to me like we have all the lodge returns up to the end of the 1820s, which, considering that you guys started to decline in the 1830s, because
what year was the Morgan affair?
That was 1826.
Okay.
27. Look at this. You've got birthplace.
Oh, let me take a picture.
Residence. Names of lodge in which initiated.
This beautiful.
Is important. So, see, look. Some of these are maybe listed as...
Most of them are Westchester 46.
Yeah, but look, there are a couple others.
Marion 13, Solomon 5.
You know where Solomon's 5 would have been? That was Poughkeepsie.
Oh, okay.
So there you go. You had a guy from Poughkeepsie who traveled, and he joined up. And see also as well.
Then their positions.
There was remarks, and then
where was Marion 13? New York City.
Yeah, potentially, but see, there are a couple foreigners here. Ireland, we've got Norwalk, Connecticut, England.
I wonder what lodge that is.
It's probably New York.
Is that what that says? Oh.
Yeah, it only says it's a foreign thing if it says it's a foreign lodge at Lyme, Connecticut. We've got East Greenwich, Connecticut. We've got, some New Rochelle and Merrimack. Let's see.
Quite a few New Rochelle.
Yeah, so there's Litchfield. This lithograph here in the museum's collection shows the Great Masonic Union celebration at Tripler Hall in New York City in 1850. This was the healing, the second healing during the Age of Schisms that happened during the late 1820s all the way up through 1858, where there were competing Grand Lodges claiming to have jurisdiction over New York State with regards to managing New York Freemasonry. This lithograph from 1850 shows the reunion between the Grand Lodge of New York and the St. John's Grand Lodge, which is important to Huguenot number 46 history, because when this reunion occurred, they found out originally in 1854 the number was Westchester 147, was how Huguenot 46 was chartered. However, in 1858, when the last reunion occurred between St. John's Grand Lodge and Grand Lodge of New York, they realized that St. John's Grand Lodge had chartered another Westchester Lodge. So that is why in 1858 the number was changed from 147 to 448, and it got the name Huguenot again, or got the name Huguenot for the first time. But then it didn't get the number 46 until 1886 when a Grand Lodge resolution approved of it.